Good morning. Good morning. Give me just a second to go in and make sure I'm live, all the places that I want to be live. And when you get here, make sure you say good morning, say hello, let me know that you're here. All right. And then I've got one other place I need to do something. So hold on a second. All right, that's not going to work. So let's do this here. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. And let me do one more thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's a gorgeous day. It's funny. Tonight's the master class. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, Laura Westman and I have partnered up and we're doing a master class tonight and it's going to be amazing. Good morning, Linda. Glad to have you here. And so I was so excited, yesterday I was doing some touches on some different things. We created all these amazing things for this master class. And so if you're part of the Stand Up and Stand Out Facebook group, then the information is in the events page and you can just sign up right there. And I will share in just a minute, I will share a link. Anybody that wants to sign up can go there and sign up as well. But it's tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. But I was so excited, and all these ideas are continuously flowing through me and coming to me. And so I woke up this morning an hour earlier than I normally do. And I thought I could get a little bit more sleep, but it was like, I can't. And so I was up an hour earlier and I even did some laundry. I was out watering the plants. So taking the trash can around because I'd forgotten or just remembered, I guess is a better way to put it. And so it was really funny that, and I'm not tired at all. And I even went to bed later. So it's just interesting when you get excited about something, it's like, it takes the tiredness away, I guess, is something, I don't know, but isn't it interesting? Because, if it's almost like if you think about it, there are times that we get very little sleep and we wake up and we're like, oh, I'm so tired. But if the same scenario it was time to get up and go on vacation, we would be alive. It would be, let's go, right? And it's all in what we're excited about or what we're anticipating. So that's not anything to do with today's affirmation or journal prompt. It was just an observation for today. And I was almost late getting on here because my daughter, she and I are roommates. And I'm showing you this because I had to run downstairs and get it because I heard her doing something in the kitchen just a few minutes before I got on here. And I said, are you making matcha tea? And she said, yes. So I said, okay. Good morning, Carrie. So she just texted me right before I got on here. It's ready. So I went down. It's a cold matcha tea, and she makes the best. One of the coffee shops that we go to, they do a really good matcha, and she said, I'm going to see if I can recreate it. So any of you drink matcha tea, just let me know. Oh yeah, she does something. She made some kind of homemade syrup too one day it was a strawberry, and then she made was it a blueberry? I don't know, but she's been making her own syrups and all these stuff. So she's getting to be quite the connoisseur with making this matcha. Of course, you know me, I still have my coffee sitting here in my $1 million mug. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start today's affirmation and journal prompt, but there is a delay from what I see here on my phone because I'm watching on my phone. And just to let you know, if you're here live, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're watching the replay, I'm grateful for you too. And just go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments so that I can come back and see that you were here. And if you have any questions or any statements, or if you want to have the conversation right along with us, then just join in and answer in the comments as well. And if you're here live or watching the replay in another place, I've got it streaming out to a couple of places, and I can't see the comments or anything from there. So if you're watching from there, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it right now. So I'm going to try to look and see if I can see anything. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, I see. Wendy, I think that is you popping in on Instagram, but it's like it's hard for me to see right now. Okay. And good morning, Jean. I see you there. And Lynn, beautiful. Thank you for being here. And let's go ahead and jump in to the affirmation and journal prompt for today. So give me a second to do some copy and pasting. All right. And this is so appropriate for what we're so appropriate because one of the things that we're doing with this masterclass that Laura and I are doing is that one of the things that we lose a lot of times when we're in business and when we're growing and becoming who we want to become is that we get so honed in on it, which is not a bad thing. But what ends up happening a lot of times is we get so structured and so focused that we forget to play. We forget to have fun and laugh. And so we will be talking a little bit about that tonight. So those that don't remember or don't know that I help people to kind of to come into their brilliant place, to recognize their gifts, their talents, and put it out into the world. And so that I'm helping them transform their beliefs, so that and their behaviors, so that they can have success in life and love and relationships and business, right? And so also Laura Westman, she is an amazing coach, and she's teaches improv. And so we've partnered up, and tonight's going to be epic. But let me get to the affirmation. I dance through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic. And that's just so appropriate for what we're doing tonight. And so if you haven't signed up, make sure you go into the events page and you signed up. It's going to be amazing. But just think about it. How do you show up in life? Do you show up with drudgery? Do you show up with aggravation? Do you show up with joy and peace and love and happiness and excitement? How do you show up? And remember, we talk all the time about how we vibrate out. And so one of the tasks we were going to be working on yesterday and, through the week is to kind of play a game and see how our vibration shows up as we show up, right? And I gave you the story about when someone puts on too much perfume and they keep reapplying it because they can't smell it anymore, right? And then they come into a building and you can almost smell them before they get into the room, right? And that's kind of what our vibration is. You can feel a person's state, their vibration, their frequency before you even get close enough to them, right? And that's why some people walk up to you and it's like a warm hug. It's like, oh, I think I've known them forever, even though we just met. And then there's other people that will walk up to you and they'll say, ooh, there's something kind of, I don't know. They don't feel good to be around. And it doesn't mean that anybody's a bad person or anything like that, but their vibration can't coexist with yours. It's almost like they repel each other, right? And so how we show up in life is due to our internal dialogue, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, right? And what we magnetically are putting out into the world. And so when you're dancing and having fun, and you're just confident, you can step into your creative space, right? That is sprinkling magic in your life. And it is all up to you. The thing that I've talked about, and I've been doing this for a while, so sometimes I think, did I say that before? And I'm sure I have, but it's like, you get to choose who you want to be and how you want to show up. And I hear people all the time, and they'll say, well, that's just who I am. And that's not true, because as we're growing up, we are given identities by other people. We're giving attributes by other people. Like a lot of people will say about their kids, they have several kids, and they say, oh, this is the smart one. This is the fun one. This is the one that won't listen. And they start giving people labels. And they're not doing it out of meanness or anything like that. It's just an observation that they've made at some point. They've put that label on the person, and the person usually takes in that label, and that's who they are. And so when we make statements about, well, I'm always late, or like one of mine that I used to say all the time was, I'm just not a techie person. I'm just not a techie person. But I've been discovering recently that, why I wasn't a techie person? Because I didn't try, because I didn't try to learn. And it's almost like I made that statement because I didn't want to take the time to learn. I wanted somebody else to do it for me, right? And I've had, you're not good at math. Maybe that's something that you've got. Maybe you're not good at business. You're not a good manager. You're not good at relationships. Is there a statement that someone has been throwing at you for a while, and in some ways you believe it, in some ways you're getting to this place where, that doesn't have to be me. So if you want to chime in and let me know, what is something that you grew up thinking about you that now when you really look at it, it's not true about who you are, or maybe you think it is, and you want to explore a little bit. So just share in the comments. Is there something morning sunshine, morning sunshine. Is there something that is showing up as I'm saying this that people have been labeling you with, or you've been labeling yourself, right? I used to say that I wasn't good at relationships, and and I proved it many, many times. And so what you believe about yourself, you will make true, right? So go ahead. I'm waiting, and I know there's a little bit of a delay, but if you could chime in on that, I would love to know because I think there's not a person alive that hasn't had some kind of label put on them that they either adopted or they said, no, that's not going to be me. So what say you guys? Anybody want to chime in? Like I said, I've had many labels. I had one label that was given to me by one of my grandmothers, was that I don't finish things. And I proved it for a very, very long time that was who I was, or who I thought I was. And it was interesting when she said it. At first, let me tell you the scenario, and I've shared this before too, I'm pretty sure, is that it was right before I was going to college. And my dad and the rest of us, we had gone over to his mother's house, my grandmother, and we weren't that close. The thing that she said was, not feeling good enough. Yes, Carrie, thank you for sharing that. And so what was the label that they gave you that what did they say about you that made you feel not good enough? If you want to share, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's okay too, Carrie. Um, but like with my grandmother, and I lovingly called her by her first name. I really didn't call her my grandmother. But what she said was when my dad said, "Well, Vicky got into college. She's going to be leaving. She's going to be going in the fall and everything." She said, she didn't say, "Congratulations." She didn't say, "Have a good time. What are you studying?" No, she didn't say any of that. She looked at me and she said, "I don't know why you won't finish." And in that moment, it's like, I thought, why would she say that? But in some way, I brought that in and that became me. No, I didn't finish. I got married and I quit. And then I tried again. I quit. I tried again and I quit. I went to art school. I quit. It was like I did so many things that I didn't finish. And the thing that I've come to realize, as I've been doing this work and I've, gotten older, which thank God I've been getting older because otherwise I wouldn't be here, right? Um, the thing is that I think for that, I had this misconception that if I chose to stop something that didn't feel right, or I chose to do something else, that then I was a quitter. But sometimes we get into something and we realize not the right path, right? Now, I'm not saying that that was the case in all those scenarios. That I usually, back then, I usually self sabotaged in some way to have to quit, right? And so then it felt like it was out of my control, yet it wasn't. And so, and I'm getting so far away from this affirmation, but hey, it just feels like what I want to say. So just bear with me. But getting to the affirmation, take it and use it and see and say to yourself with feeling, I dance through life. Man, oh man, I dance through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic, because we want to sprinkle magic in everything we do. And we get to do that when we choose, right? Good morning, Kimmy. Good to have you here. We get to do that. We get to dance through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic. And so my challenge would be, I need to get my journal prompt up here. Let's see. Because I created these yesterday, this one yesterday, and it was like, what did I say in here? All right. So take this affirmation, put it on your sticky notes, your index cards, put it as a screensaver on your phone, use a chalk mark and put it on your mirror, write it on your refrigerator. I don't care where you put it, but put it somewhere to remind you today that you have permission. You're giving yourself permission to just dance through life. Let go of the stress and the anxiety, because that's going to be there. But you know what stress and anxiety usually is? Do you know? It's being somewhere you are, but wanting to be somewhere else, wanting to have a different past and wanting to have a different future, just looking at everything else. And that is where the stress and the anxiety come from. So today, adopt the idea that you can dance through life. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can read this comment here. Okay. This is Kimmy. Oh, last night I utilized your talk about our superhero last night at my business meeting and had people talking about their superpowers and superhero name. It was fun. Thank you. You're welcome. I loved our superhero stuff, and I loved sharing the different things that everybody came up with and the pictures and all that stuff. And I really want to do a big thing about it because it was so fun and powerful, mostly fun, right? But there was power that came out of that. And that's why I'm saying dancing through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic. What doesn't feel delicious about that, right? I mean, just think about it. What if every single day you dance through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic? Wouldn't that make a huge difference in your life? How you show up, how you vibrationally walk into a room, how you go through your day, how you go to bed at night and feel about your day, how you wake up in the morning thinking about your next day? Just think about that. It's powerful. You're powerful, but you have to make the choice to grab the power and go, right? All right, so now let's get to our journal prompt. Our journal prompt is, what creative activities make you feel alive and magical? Yes, it does make a difference, Kimmy. Oh, it does. So what creative activities make you feel alive and magical? I mean, is there something you want to share? Anybody? What is a creative activity that makes you feel alive and magical? Do you have one? My cat's wanting out. Hold on a second. Are you wanting out, babe? You wanting out? Go ahead. Go. Boop. Sorry about that. Didn't want her to start scratching on anything. But what creative activities make you feel alive and magical? And how can you incorporate more of them into your life this week? Photography. Yes, you are so good at photography. I saw you shared some pictures this morning, but I didn't have I didn't take the time to respond to those or to post or respond, I guess. All right. So anybody else want to share a little bit about what creative activities? Let's see what we got over here. I don't know. Do I add everyone over there? I have no idea. All right. So looking at new fashion styles. Yes. Because if I'm remembering right, didn't you put something, Carrie, that you work in the fashion industry? Or am I remembering wrong? Maybe I'm remembering somebody else. I feel alive when I'm working in and designing my perennial garden. Ooh, nice. Okay, Carrie. Well, cool. Yeah. So thank you guys for sharing that. I mean, there are so many things that can make us feel alive and magical, right? And you can see that, like Kimmy said, photography. Carrie said looking at a new fashion style, and Lynn says when she's designing her perennial garden. So there's different ways of how we can feel alive and magical with our creativity. And for me, sometimes it's creating some of this stuff that I'm doing with you. That makes me feel amazing and alive. And, and it's funny because sometimes I can wake up and be just a little bit tired. And as I start listening to stuff as I'm getting ready, because I listen to YouTube, or I'm listening to an audiobook on Spotify right now, which is really good. But as I'm doing that, I start coming alive even more. And then as I'm thinking about, what's the affirmation in the journal prompt I can share today? And as I start doing all that, I just feel like this creativity comes up in me and God comes through me and all these things. And it really lights me up and makes me happy. And then, as I'm going through my day, amazing conversations with people really, really make me feel alive. And when I don't always do my art, right? And that's one of those things. It almost seems like it's something that comes last. And so one of my focuses that I'm working on is getting to the place where I do my art more often, because it's not a common thing anymore for me to do. It's like I have to almost force myself to get my easel out and start. So I'm working on getting to the place where that just feels like the easiest place to go. And I love doing it, but it's like I have my business hat on, right? And I'm working on creating and growing this and learning this and all these different things. And I kind of let that one go on the back burner, right? And so one of my things that I'm working on, like I said, is getting that creative piece of me back out on a regular basis, because it does make me feel alive and magical. And I don't know why I've had it on the back burner for so long. And so, I'm not perfect with this stuff by any means. This is all meant for me as well. And so I love, as we're growing and doing this stuff together, it's things that I need. And so that's when I think, if I need it, maybe somebody else needs it too. And that's how I approach all of this. And that's why we've got the masterclass tonight, because I see this need for it with some clients that I've had and for myself, right? And so, like, once again, I want to invite you to go into the events part of the page of the Facebook group, and go ahead and sign up to be there tonight, so that you'll have the link and everything, because it's going to be so much fun. And I'm excited about life. I'm excited about learning and growing and all those things, and learning from you guys and growing with you. And it's just like, I can't think of anything more perfect than to be able to do this with you. And, not to say my life's perfect, because nobody's is, right? And because I think I shared it just the other day. I had a gentleman on my podcast the other day, and one of the things that he was reminding me, that he said there was a story about all these people around this campfire, and they had this container, and everybody took all the problems out and put it in that container, and they all got to choose what issues and problems they wanted to pull back out. And everybody wanted their own back once they saw what everybody else was dealing with. And so sometimes we think, what we would rather have, I'd rather have their problems, but we don't really know, right? And so it's taking the things that are happening in our life and grabbing the juice and the lesson and moving your life forward, right? Because, like with my podcast, one of the things that I say, even in my intro, that it is about our mosaic life. There's all the bits and pieces of our life that come together to make us who we are. Change any one thing and we're different. And so a lot of times people will say, well, I wish that hadn't happened when I was this age. I wish this hadn't happened. I wish this hadn't happened. And, and granted, we can't change it, for one thing, but granted, it might have been an uncomfortable thing. Maybe it was a horrible thing. A lot of people on my podcast have had horrible things happen to them, right? But the thing that comes from that is they end up having this amazing life that they inspire other people, and they become someone because of all the things that they went through, right? So if we can start looking at the challenges in our life, the things that we wish hadn't happened, as something that was putting us in this growth path to become this amazing human that we are. And then we start looking at it a little bit different. And I have not had, as devastating a life as a lot of people in my podcast, but I've had a lot of things that have happened in my life. And I choose, there's the choice, I choose and I decide that I'm going to let those things propel me into an amazing life. And I just had someone I spoke to the other day, I'm just going to share real quick, we're on time, and I've shared this before, I really, really want to have him on my podcast. Now, whether he's going to do that or not, I don't know, because he may not be comfortable sharing it out into the world. That's the thing. But he had, an amazingly challenging childhood, an amazingly challenging life. And he finally got to this place where he had I don't even want to say the things that had happened to him, but there he was sitting and he said, if this is my life, I'm going to die. So I can choose, do I want to live or do I want to die? And I think I want to live. And he changed everything. And it's like, right? Because we can make that choice. And hopefully we don't get to this place where it's life or death. But a lot of times that's when people make those decisions, right? So I'm asking you to use these affirmations, these journal prompts, to use the knowledge that you have and the gifts and talents that you have in your heart and in your body and your soul. And just decide that you're going to make life amazing, even though you're not at that life or death place. But if you are at that place, you get to decide that too. And so it all comes down to we make our choices. And a lot of times, the things that we're going through are not horrific enough to make a change. And so we choose to do nothing. But remember, the only constant in life is change. So we're either changing for the better or we're not. And so I implore you, and I don't know why this is on my heart right now, and I feel like I'm going to cry. Gosh, and I am. But it feels like there's somebody that needs this today. And the hell, that could be me. I don't know. But somebody needs this today. So today, regardless of where your life is, regardless of what the hell is going on, you get to choose, you get to decide to make it better, to make it brilliant, to make it amazing. And it all comes down to you, right? Whew. All right, so I'll get off my soapbox because we're just here for the affirmation and the journal prompt, right? So let me get back. The affirmation is, I dance through life with confidence, creativity, and a sprinkle of magic. Whew. The sprinkle of magic is what gets me every time, right? Let's grab that sprinkle of magic and put it out there every day. And then the journal prompt. What creative activities make you feel alive and magical? And you guys have shared, and I so appreciate you. So as you're looking at those things that you wrote, how can you incorporate more of them into your life this week? How can you? There's a whole different thing when you ask powerful questions. And that's a powerful question, right? How can you? Because you can. It's just being open to the possibilities. All right. So let me look over here real quick and see if I've got any comments. Yes, we are who we are because of the journey we have had and because we have chosen to learn from it all. Yes, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So you have an amazingly, magically blessed day with sprinkling that magic dust in your life today and on other people's lives. Remember what you're creating when you're sprinkling the magic around you. It just kind of goes out around, right? So you're creating magic in your life, and without even realizing it, you're helping others to create magic in theirs. And so I love each and every one of you. You're welcome, Carrie. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea, because this is I love all you guys. It's an amazing group. It's amazing magnetic pull to me to share with you. So with that said, sprinkle your magic dust out today energetically, because even people that are talking to you on Zoom or on Facebook, wherever you may be, your magic is going to just kind of go out a little bit around you, and you're going to be amazed at how you feel and how other people feel around you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. So I hope I get to see you tonight at the masterclass. And remember, you can go in and you can sign up on the in the events page. But hold on a second. Let me grab this. I created an event on Eventbrite so that I could share, and now I'm looking, how the hell do I get to share it? View. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, follow. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to. All right, I'm just going to copy this big old long thing and let's just be done with it, right? All right, so I'm going to add, this is the link to the Eventbrite, which you don't have to do that. If you've already signed up or you're in the Facebook group, you can just go to the event section in the group. But I'm streaming this out to other places. And so I want them to be able to sign up. And so I created an event so that it would be easier for people to, what did I just do? Easier for people to sign up. I have another document that people can do, but it doesn't have much of an explanation. So I created this so it would help. All right, so I'm going to share that. See, that's a long one, right? All right, so thank you guys so much, and sprinkle some magic dust today. I'm sharing mine with you right now. Mwah.